It's all about the World Heavyweight Championship. Triple threat rules. And right now, a little bit of an alliance of Kane and Batista trying to take out the big man, the biggest man in the match, the reigning World Heavyweight Champion, who just double clothesline Batista and Kane, laying both of them out, the great Khali. Now stomping away on the animal Batista. You've got an animal. You've got a big red machine. And you've got an absolute giant, a behemoth in the great Khali. Khali showing early dominance as world champion in this match. Enjoying a nice slow pace is Khali. However, Batista trying to hammer back with some clubbing rights, but to no effect on the great Khali. Batista ducks. What a kick to the face of Batista. And a clubbing blow from Khali sends Kane to the outside onto the floor. He's going for the shoulder grip. This is where the shoulder, Khali completely grips this vice-like grip on the trapezius muscle, right where the pressure point is. You feel all the pain, then it goes numb, then your body starts to wear out, and then eventually your eyes roll to the back of your head and you just pass out. That is, if you make it that far. If you don't choose to tap out, which is more wise than not, and there's a lot for the great Khali to grab here with Batista having such a muscular frame. Meanwhile, Kane comes from behind looking for a sleeper on Khali, but Khali just tossing Kane right over him. And now it's Khali going for the vice shoulder grip to Kane. Khali looking very impressive in the early ongoings of this match, but here comes Batista to try and fight back at Khali, but Khali just swats him away. Khali could be looking for a choke slam as he looks to take Batista for a ride. And a crash and burn into the mat for the animal. And one could be coming for Kane. The choke slam is Kane's signature. And Kane gets laid out by Khali too. And he stands alone. The World Heavyweight Champion. The great Khali. What an impressive showing this has been by the current world champion. And Batista and Kane are no small opponents. They are two of the biggest stars on the roster. I mean, physically. They are physically impressive superstars. But Khali, he's just so huge. He just towers over them. Oh! Kane was looking for a chokeslam on Khali, but Khali with those massive elbows of his nailing into the face of Kane. No way. And Khali battled out of what seemed to be a Batista bomb attempt. I don't know how that was going to work. Kane comes in with a right shot to the face of Khali, and the champion is starting to be stunned as Batista and Kane work together to lay out Khali. Khali face first onto the steel steps, and the champion is scurried. And there it is. Kane and Batista send the world champion through the table. Both of these men, Kane, Batista, now have a second chance at gold. The great Khali is out of the way. And Kane, who takes the first shot, catches Batista off guard. It's not about who takes the first shot. It's about who takes the last one and wins. Kane, sidewalk slam as the momentum builds, hooks the close leg. And Batista able to get the shoulder up at 2. Nick Patrick, the official of this world title triple threat match. The beginning of this match, it was all Khali. But in the last minute, the tides have shifted. Khali has been taken out of the playing field of this world title match. And it's been brought down to Batista and Kane. But Batista slams and drives Kane into the mat. But Kane able to survive. Absolute power by the animal on display. And you talk about power, the way that Kane and Batista had to work together to lay out the great Khali. But it certainly worked out, as these two now have the opportunity to focus on each other, and it becomes a one-on-one situation. If it persists like this and Khali never finds his way back into it, it's an almost guarantee of a new world champion. And Kane knocking Batista off the top. Kane has Batista right where he wants him. And off the top. And a flying clothesline lays out the animal Batista. And Kane measuring up. Kane could be... Oh, Kane was measuring up Batista. But instead it's a chokeslam to Khali. Kane could do it. But Batista's there to stop it. Absolute impressive display of power by Kane, chokeslamming the 400-plus pounder in the great Khali. Batista now going to work on Kane, but Kane comes back with an uppercut to Batista. You got to lay it out all out on the playing field when it comes to being the world champion by any means necessary. You don't want to leave anything out of question when the big prize is on the line. And Khali got caught up by Batista on the top rope. But Khali fights back with a big boot that lays out Batista. They've already put Khali through the announce table. Kane's choke slammed Khali on his own. And Khali's already back up. Look at the power of Batista. Spine buster. But Kane is there to stop it. What a triple threat match of three of the biggest men in WWE. No ifs, no buts, no whats. It's all high impact action. Oh, Batista got out of the way when he needed to the most. Kane goes shoulder first into the steel post. And Batista was thinking Batista bomb, but Kane with a back body drop lays out the animal. And now Kane looks for a choke slam, and Batista goes for a ride to crown a new world champion, but Batista just barely gets the shoulder up in the nick of time. The sheer look of disbelief in the eyes of the devil's favorite demon. Kane thought he had it right then and there. It was a picture-perfect chokeslam to Batista, and yet it still wasn't enough to put him away. But now, Kane has a steel chair, and it's all legal under triple threat rules where there are no disqualifications and no countouts. Kane has become so much more dangerous, but Batista lifts up Kane and nails him with a thunderous spine buster, and the animal has been unleashed. Batista is fired up. This time, it comes down to it. Batista bomb. We're going to have a new world champion. Oh, come on. And Khali just pulls Batista and just rips the title from Batista and sends Batista hard into the steel steps. And it leaves the pickings for the great Khali to capitalize. Kane is stunned. And the monster from Punjabi with the double choke slam. And that's gonna do it. And the great Khali retains. Khali just ripping the world championship from the referee's hands. Khali does not play any games. And that was quite the dominant performance, despite the fact that Khali was taken out of the match a couple of times. Immense dominance and ruled on top. And that is why he still holds that World Heavyweight Championship as he celebrates. Khali got slammed through an announce desk early on in the match, keep in mind. That happened. And then Kane showed his own source of power with a chokeslam of his own to Khali. And then Khali would still survive an emphatic spine buster from Batista. But this, after the Batista bomb to Kane, Khali took Batista out of commission, sending Batista to the steel steps. And that double hand chokeslam to Kane was all that was needed for the finishing touches to make sure that the great Khali leaves with that world championship that he holds over his shoulder. The great Khali survives. And now the biggest question is, who can stop this Punjabi monster?